We are the Tempest Two, and a year ago we successfully rowed across the Atlantic, 3,000 miles from the Canary Islands to Barbados. We'd never rowed before, we'd never sailed before, we weren't brave adventurers or anything.
I was.
You were a brave adventurer.
I always have been.
Since then we've had a real mind shift, and we now take on adventures around the world, showing that ordinary people like us can go and do amazing things.
With that in mind, we're going to be heading to Patagonia, the incredible Patagonia, in October this year, starting with a 1,600 kilometre cycle from the north to the south, between Argentina and Chile, finishing up at the famous mountain town of El Chalten.
How can it be between Argentina and Chile?
Because it's on the border, and
That's
we're going to flirt the border. We will then swap our lovely bicycles for our running shoes and take on the world famous Huemul Circuit. Normally that takes 5 days to do. We want to do it in 24 hours. It's a mixture of running, bit of mountaineering, scrambling, crossing ravines on zip wires,
Fighting bears and...
Jump back into the run, and we'll finish at El Chalten, and then we'll pick up some stand-up paddle boards where we will...
Which we've never done before.
We've never done that before, that's a
Never
good
stood
point.
on them. We'll just green screen that bit.
And we're gonna paddleboard from Lago Viedmo, which should take about 4 days, obviously wind and weather dependent.
No idea how long.
Approximately a 4-day ride. Do you call it a ride?
Paddle.
Paddle. And we'll finish up at Glacier Viedma.
It's the world famous glacier that you've never heard of. So as well as telling the story whilst we're in Patagonia, we think the kind of 6 months before is going to be quite interesting. James, as you can see, is heavily overweight, so can barely pull together a 10k.
Muscle is more than fat, guys.
So we're going to be telling the story of our training as we try and go from complete novices who actually hate running to trying to break a world record in ultra running in a mountainous region. We're pretty lucky that we get to travel to some pretty cool places, and a lot of those places are being threatened by global warming. It's a pretty big issue around the world, everyone's talking about it. Trump doesn't believe in it, which is mental. We want to stand there and be like, this is where the glacier was 10 years ago, and that's where it is over there. Like,
all the way over there.
Yeah. We'll be partnering with a non-profit to try and raise some cash and awareness for that subject. So that's what's coming in October 2017. Watch this space. We'll be starting to talk about our training and the journey from here on out. And yeah, it should be a pretty interesting 6 months.